Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first and 10, Cousins. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again, Cousins on second and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now first and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Rudolph. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 14 carries, 88 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Now Bell. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Leopard! Leopard! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll run it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. Looking for the end zone. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Cousins on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Ryan Shazier. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the catch good, it's Eifert. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Bell, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. And there's no ground game here with a tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On 3rd down, Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 39, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rudolph. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And it's complete. Henry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves them with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They get it to him running left. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit, a great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Here's Rudolph. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And his kick is right through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Gun! 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 Gun!
On second down. Here's Rudolph finding a safety valve here. That's complete. A good pickup there at 22.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
3-19.
Rudolph going to throw again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Lucky 56.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half. This will be fielded at the 6.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just 4. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So we've reached, well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the score.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And give them a gain of 37.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Evades him at the 20. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the red zone now, Rudolph. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. They'll pitch it out to Bell. Bell's, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Working out of the gun, Cousins. It's caught. Jones. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Second down, Cousins. He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long for Cousins. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. That one goes for 24 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Throwing, Cousins. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
False start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for third and goal. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Rudolph. And a throw right sideline is complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Check 15, check 15. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
On 1st down, Rudolph. James has got it, complete. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. With a tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here comes a 1st down throw from Rudolph. This is Bell on the dump off. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Patriot, Patriot.
Now Bell. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw, Cousins. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Cousins on first down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47th.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. Rudolph. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Rudolph on first down. A screen to Bell. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He gets away from 1. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. On third down, Cousins. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Julio Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism gets you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them. You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, it stopped them in a big one.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
And the Steelers set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Again, it's Bell. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And the Steelers on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not